Respected elders, educationists, dear teachers, and dear students, welcome. First of all, it is my kind request that those who have been subscribed channel, Curricular and Science, may kindly subscribe it. Dear elders, educationists, and dear teachers, and dear students, today we are going to see five couplets from 186 to 190 under the head no backbiting. They're beautiful colors. The pros and cons of backbiting. It is the drawbacks that the human race faces because of backbiting is beautifully explained by same one here. Come, let us see. Tirukural comments and explanations with a new dimension. Five couplets from 186 to 190. Video 76, dated 3/1 2024. Couplet 186. If a man spoke the faults of others, his faults be spoken by others. Again, if a man spoke the faults of others, his faults would be spoken by others. It is nature. That is, if a man speaks the faults, that is, the shortcomings of others, then his shortcomings also will be spoken by others. That is, if you speak the shortcomings of others, then your shortcomings will be spoken by others. This is the message of this couplet. If you spoke the defaults of others, your disgraceful faults would be spoken by others. If you spoke the defaults of others, your disgraceful faults, that is the worst faults of you, would be spoken by others. Explanation. If a man speaks in public about the faults of others, others also will publish his fault. Again, if a man speaks in public about the faults of others, others also will publish his faults. That is, if you spoke the faults of others, the most of your faults would be found out and spoken by others. If you spoke the faults of others, most of your faults would be found out and spoken out by others. Again, if a man spoke the faults of others, his faults would be spoken by others. That is, if a man speaks the shortcomings, there is the faults of another man. His shortcomings also will be spoken by others. Is if you spoke the faults of others, then your faults also to be spoken. Chapter 187. He who knows not the art of developing friendship will lose by backbiting his friendship. Again, he who knows not the art of developing friendship will lose by backbiting his friendship. Will lose his friendship by backbiting. What's the message of this couplet? That is, if a man does not know the culture of talking smilingly to others and win the friendship. If a man does not know the art of sweetly and smilingly talking to others and win the friendship. He will he will lose his friendship and he is already enjoying by backbiting. Okay? If a man does not know the art of sweetly and smilingly talking to another man and winning his friendship, he will lose he will lose the friendship that he is already enjoying by backbiting. So, if a man does not know the art of winning the friendship of another man by talking sweetly and smilingly to him, he will lose his friendship by backbiting others. Content. He who does not know to earn friendship by talking smilingly will lose his friendship by backbiting. He who does not know to earn friendship by talking smilingly will lose his friendship by backbiting. Explanation. The man who does not know the present way of developing friendship will forfeit even his own friendship and relationship by backbiting. Okay? The man who does not know the pleasant way of developing friendship will forfeit his own friendship and relationship by backbiting. That is, if you did not know the art of winning the heart and friendship of others by talking to them sweetly and smilingly, you would lose your friendship and relationship that you are already enjoying by backbiting. That is, if you did not know the art of winning the heart and friendship of others by talking to them sweetly and smilingly, you would lose your friendship and relationship that you are already enjoying by backbiting. Because of backbiting, because of backbiting, you would lose the friendship and relationship that you are already enjoying. That is, winning the friendship of others by talking sweetly and smilingly to them and avoiding talking to our friends and relatives, even of others, would earn us greatness. Yes, yes, dear students, you should listen to them. That winning the friendship of others by talking sweetly and smilingly to them and avoiding talking to our friends and relatives, even of others. Avoiding talking ill of others would be end of greatness. Again, he who does not know the art of developing friendship will lose his friendship by backbiting. It is, a man does not the art of talking sweetly and smilingly to others and win their friendship. Then he will lose his own friendship by backbiting of others. 88. Those who speak out to the faults of their dearest friends. What won't, what won't do in the case of others? Those who talk, those who speak out ill of, those who speak out to the faults of their dearest friends. What won't do in the case of others? Those who speak out to the faults of their dearest friends. What do not do in the case of others? That is, if your man speaks speaks out the thoughts of his dear friend. What does he not do? What does he not do in the case of if a man speaks so the thoughts of his the defects of his the dearest friends, he would not hesitate to talk ill of others, to speak ill of others, and to spoil their reputation. This is the thing. If a man speaks so false of his dearest friend, then he does not hesitate to speak ill of others and spoil their names, to speak ill of those who are not his friends and who are his enemies. That's the thing. If a man speaks out the faults of his dearest friend, then he won't hesitate to talk ill of others and spoil their names, spoil their reputation. Those who speak out to the faults of their dearest friends, what won't do in the case of others? If a man speaks out the faults of his dearest friends, he does not hesitate to talk the faults of others and to spoil their reputation. Content. The man who speaks out ill of his dearest friends won't hesitate to speak ill of others. The man who speaks out ill of his dearest friends won't hesitate to speak ill of others. This is the one explanation. The man who speaks out the shortcomings of his closest friends would never hesitate to spoil the good names of others by speaking ill of them. That is, if a man were in the habit of is speaking out ill of his dearest friends and relatives, he would never hesitate to spoil the reputation of this by speaking out ill of them. He won't hesitate. He would never hesitate to spoil the reputation of others by speaking out ill of them. Again, those who speak out the faults of their dearest friends, what won't do in the case of others? That is, if a man speaks out the faults of his dearest friends, then what he does not do, then what does he not do in the case of others? If your man speaks enough, if your man speaks out enough, speaks out the defects of the faults of his dearest friend, what does he not do in the case of others? What does he not do in the case of others? That is, if a man speaks out publicly the faults of the dearest friend, then he would not hesitate. Then he would never hesitate to speak ill of others and spoil their reputation. Couplet 189. Does the earth deem to bear those who hurt others by ill words in their back? Who is virtue? A beautiful couplet. Does the earth deem to bear those who hurt others by ill words in their back? Two is virtue. So what is the message hidden in this couplet? It is some people enjoy enjoys the habit of backbiting. Some people are in the habit of enjoying backbiting. Some people enjoy and some people enjoy backbiting. Yeah, world will say, teach old one puts the question to the public. Some people are in the habit of enjoying backbiting. Does the youth think to tolerate the backbiting? to tolerate his backbiting and bear that man is also virtue. Is also virtue. Okay? See, does the earth deem to bear those who cut others by ill words in their back? Two is virtue. And dear students and my dear daughters and sons and my dear sisters and brothers. See, in the world, some people are in the habit of enjoying backbiting. One puts the question, tolerating the backbiting of church people and bearing the patiently and bearing the patiently is also virtue. That's the earth thinks like. That's the earth thinks. Tolerating the backbiting of a man and bearing him is also virtue. It is the process. Thus, tolerating the backbiting and bearing such people is also virtue. There is also what is the measurement? So even though some people go on talking and go on backbiting, hating them is not good for human nature. Even though he is a backbiter, let him go. But we should not hate him. We should tolerate his backbiting and also bear him patiently. This is the message of this couple at 189. His mother yet thinks to tolerate and bear the man of backbiting is also virtue. His mother yet thinks to tolerate and bear the man of backbiting is also virtue. Explanation. The graces it bears even the people who lead a poor life by speaking ill of others in their absence. It is a wonder to learn. If the earth thinks it is true virtue, see, it is a wonder to learn. If the earth thinks it is true virtue, so that is, the creatures here, the bears, even the people who lead a poor life by speaking ill of others in their absence. It is a wonder to learn. If the earth thinks it is true virtue, it is a tolerating the backbiting and bearing them is also virtue. Tolerating such a people, the backbiting of such a people, and treating him nicely, patiently is virtue. It is. We get astonished to understand the nature of the earth that he should think to tolerate and birth manner. Backbiting is also virtue. We get astonished to understand the nature of the earth that it should think to tolerate and birth a man of backbiting is also virtue. Again, does the earth lean to bear those who hurt others by ill words in their back to is virtue? That is, does the earth think to tolerate the backbiting of a man and bearing him patiently is also virtue. Couplet 190. If we found our faults as we found the faults of others, could there be any evil on the earth to all living things? See, what is the message? That is, if we found our faults as we found the faults of others, could there be any evil on the earth to other living beings or to other living things? To all living things. What is the message? That is, if we found our faults, if we realize our faults, as we find the faults of others, all living beings will be facing no evil. All living beings on the earth will be facing no, and they will lead a pleasant and happy life. This is a message. That is, again, if we found our faults, if we realized our faults, as we found the faults of others, all the living beings on the earth would lead a pleasant and happy life without facing any evil. This is the message of this couplet. See, if we realized our faults, all living things on the earth would have a peaceful and pleasant life. Again, if we realized our faults, all living things on the earth would have a peaceful and pleasant life. Explanation. When we find the faults of others, we should also find our own faults. If we did that, there would be no evil to any living being on the earth. That is, if we realized our faults as we found the faults of others, all living things on the earth would lead a peaceful and pleasant life without any evil. Yes, if we realized our life, our faults, as we found the faults of others, then all living things on the earth would lead a peaceful life without any evil. This is the message of Scripture. If we found our faults as we found the faults of others, would there be any evil on the earth to all living things? See what puts the question to us. If you found our faults as we found the faults of others, could there be any evil in the earth? Could there be any evil on the earth to all living things? Could there be any evil on the earth to all living things? No. If you realize if you realize our faults, so if you come to the faults of others, then all these are there would lead a peaceful and pleasant life. So any evil. This is a message of the script. Then, now, let us comments. Not begging, not backbiting comments. Backbiting is a mental cancer worse than physical one. Backbiting is a mental cancer worse than physical one. Those who inhale it would become nothing. Those who ignore it would smell as jasmine, taste as mango, and become teachers as Worldwide couplets. That is, those who ignore backbiting would smell as jasmine, taste as mango, and become teachers as Valluvans, couplets. There's a couplet 183. Earning virtues fame by dying is better than existing a soulless life by backbiting. Dear elders, educationists, and dearest teachers and dearest students. See, instead of leading a soulless life, instead of leading a soulless life by backbiting, is worse than it's the worst one for that. You can speculate. See, facing facing for speaking truth, facing the for speaking truth is much better than leading a soulless life by backbiting. There is facing that for speaking truth is better than leading a existing a soulless life. Right? Leading a worthless life by backbiting is not a valuable living. Instead of leading such a soulless life, facing death for speaking truth would earn the greatness prescribed by the virtuous writings. That is, earning virtuous greatness by facing death for truth is much better than leading a worthless life by backbiting. Then Kapil 81. Though virtuous words he speaks not, and does vicious deeds, virtue would live within him if he spoke out ill of others. Though virtuous words he speaks not, and does vicious deeds, virtue would live within him if he spoke not ill of others. That is, even though a man disrespect virtue and does only evil deeds, that doesn't matter. But if he does not enjoy the habit of backbiting, that is, if he is not a man of backbiting, then he would earn greatness. Even though a man disrespects virtue and does evil deeds, if he does not backbite, if he is a man of not backbiting, then he will be earning greatness. He will be earning greatness because of the habit of not backbiting. Though a man does not speak virtuous words, and that's only business deeds, he will earn greatness if he does not backbite. That is, the disgraceful deed of backbiting is worse than the evil deeds of not speaking well of virtue and doing evil deeds. That is, not backbiting is a great virtue. Virtue is a blend of all the moral qualities. It contains thousands of branches, each one of them are bearing fruitful things of different variety of positive qualities. Virtue could be well classified into three kinds as creative thinking, a creative speech, and a creative deeds. So, our thinking, speech, and deeds should be within the moral course of nature. Backbiting is an evil deed. The evil caused by backbiting is an evil deed. The evil caused by backbiting is worse than disrespecting virtue and doing vicious deeds. Again, this backbiting is an evil. The evil caused by backbiting is worse than disrespecting virtue and doing vicious deeds. It is why say in the World War advises us that though we disrespect virtue and do evil deeds, and no account should be entertained backbite. Backbiting is the worst of all sorts of evils. Then my verse. Backbiting is worse than cancer. Avoiding it would bring greater. Backbiting is worse than cancer. Avoiding it would bring great. It would bring many great things. It would bring greatness. I mean, respected elders, educationists, a teacher and dear students. Thus, we have seen the five couplets. The messages that one gives us to these five couplets. See, what are the evil effects backbiting would produce? And in which ways backbiting would spoil the society, would spoil friendship, would spoil a family relationship. So the backbiting is worse than this. Backbiting is a mental connection worse than physical connection. Backbiting is a mental cancer. It is worse than physical cancer. So, dear grandchildren, dear children, dear brothers and sisters, we should we should try our best to avoid backbiting. And no account should be entertained backbiting. See, uh, who can point out, speak out the shortcomings, the defects of a man in his presence. But in his absence, we should not speak ill of. We should not find out his faults. But that's not right. So the beautiful couplet, 190. If we found our fault as we found the faults of others, could there be any evil on the earth? Could there be any evil on the earth to all living things? It's a matter of if we realize our faults, if we realize our faults, as we find the faults of others, actually, there will be no harm. There will be no harm for all the living things of the earth. Then every living being on the earth would be leading a pleasant peace without having any harm. So, avoiding backbiting is the best habit. It would earn us all sorts of merits. Backbiting is the mental cancer. It would definitely destroy not only the person enjoying it, but also his entire surroundings, the entire society to destroy. So let us avoid it totally. So he respected elders, educations, dedicated their students. I thank all of you for listening to my comments, recording the five records from 186 to 190 under the not that weight. Till I meet you in the next class, I wish all of you a very nice and sweet time. Thank you.